Kawasaki just humiliated the touring world. 2026 Vulcan 1700 Voyager ABS is unreal. The 2026 Kawasaki Vulcan 1700 Voyager ABS arrives like a thunderclap across the open highway, shaking the ground beneath every so-called luxury tourer that dared to feel comfortable at the top. From the first glance, this machine radiates dominance. Massive fairing, commanding stance, chrome and muscle fused into one unstoppable presence. This is not a bike for people who ride occasionally. This is a bike for riders who live on the road, who measure life in miles, sunsets, fuel stops, and stories that can only be written from the saddle of a true long-distance king. Kawasaki didn't just update the Voyager for 2026, they refined a legend, sharpened its claws, and reminded the world that raw V-twin touring doesn't need permission from anyone to rule. The moment you roll this beast out of the garage, you don't feel like you're going for a ride, you feel like you're embarking on a mission. At the core of this touring monster lies a 1700cc liquid-cooled 52-degree V-twin engine, and let's be clear, this power plant is not about chasing peak horsepower numbers for bragging rights. This engine is about torque that hits like a tidal wave, the kind of low-end and mid-range pull that lets you overtake traffic effortlessly, climb mountain passes without hesitation, and cruise at highway speeds like the road was designed exclusively for you. The Vulcan 1700 Voyager ABS doesn't scream, it rumbles with authority, delivering smooth, predictable power that feels endless. Loaded with a passenger, packed saddlebags, and a full trunk? It doesn't matter. This engine was built for real touring, not brochure fantasies. Kawasaki engineers tune this V-twin for longevity, reliability, and that unmistakable deep exhaust note that announces your arrival long before you're seen. This is the sound of confidence. This is the sound of a bike that knows exactly what it is. Now let's talk about control, because power without control is meaningless, and this is where the advanced coactive braking technology, KACT with ABS, enters the conversation like a silent guardian angel. Touring motorcycles live in the real world. Unpredictable traffic, sudden stops, changing weather, uneven roads. Kawasaki understands this reality better than most, and the Voyager ABS proves it. The braking system intelligently balances front and rear braking forces, delivering stable, confidence-inspiring stops even when the bike is fully loaded. Panic braking? Emergency situations? Wet pavement? This system works with you, not against you. Instead of fighting the machine, you feel connected to it, like it's reading the road and reacting alongside you. This is not just safety, this is peace of mind, the kind that allows you to ride longer, harder, and farther without second-guessing every decision. "2026 Yamaha V-Max 1700 ABS is back, the most brutal muscle bike ever built." The 2026 Yamaha V-Max 1700 ABS is not just a motorcycle comeback story. It's a full-blown resurrection of one of the most feared muscle bikes ever created. When the legendary Yamaha V-Max 1700 ABS returns, it doesn't whisper, it detonates. This machine was never built to blend in, and the 2026 version doubles down on that philosophy with unapologetic aggression, futuristic refinement, and the kind of presence that makes even seasoned riders stop mid-sentence. The V-Max name has always carried weight in the performance world, but this iteration feels like Yamaha took everything wild about its DNA and engineered it for a new era of domination. The stance is lower, wider, and meaner than ever, with muscular bodywork wrapped tightly around a heart that was clearly designed to intimidate. This isn't nostalgia, this is a warning shot. One look at the 2026 V-Max 1700 ABS, and you immediately understand that subtlety has no place here. The sculpted air intakes sit like flexed biceps, the LED lighting cuts through darkness with a predatory glare, and the overall silhouette screams raw authority. It looks less like a motorcycle and more like a mechanical predator crouched and ready to pounce. Yamaha's design team didn't chase trends, they created a statement. Every line flows with tension, every curve feels intentional, and every detail exists to amplify one message: power lives here. Park this machine anywhere, and it becomes the center of gravity. Cameras come out, conversations stop, even riders loyal to other brands can't help but stare. The V-Max doesn't ask for attention. It commands it. At the core of this beast lies a monstrous 1,700cc V4 engine that defines what a muscle bike should be. This isn't about polite horsepower figures or fuel economy bragging rights. It's about torque that hits like a sledgehammer, and acceleration that compresses your organs. Twist the throttle, and the response is immediate, violent, and addictive. The surge feels less like traditional acceleration, and more like being launched from a catapult. The V4 configuration delivers a unique character, deep, mechanical, and brutally smooth at the same time. It pulls relentlessly through the rev range, making highway merges feel like drag strip launches and straightaways feel criminally short. The 2026 refinement brings sharper throttle mapping and improved responsiveness, but it never dulls the savage personality that made the V-Max legendary in the first place. This is not a normal cruiser. 2026 Suzuki M109R shocked everyone. The 2026 Suzuki Boulevard M109R does not arrive quietly, politely, or with the intention of fitting in. It crashes into the modern motorcycle landscape like a blunt instrument, unapologetic and heavy with intent, reminding everyone that there was a time when cruisers were built to intimidate rather than accommodate. In a world where motorcycles are increasingly filtered through algorithms, riding modes, electronic safeties, and sanitized performance curves, the M109R feels almost offensive in how direct it is. This is not a bike designed to please everyone, and Suzuki knows it. This is a machine built for riders who still believe motorcycles should feel dangerous enough to command respect, powerful enough to scare you just a little, and mechanical enough that you never forget what's happening beneath you. From the first moment you see it, the 2026 Boulevard M109R communicates dominance. Its proportions feel exaggerated on purpose, as if Suzuki decided that subtlety had no place here. The front end looks massive and aggressive, the fuel tank bulges with muscle, and the rear tire is so wide it borders on absurd. This bike doesn't look like it was styled to win design awards or please focus groups. It looks like it was built to make a statement before the engine ever turns over. Park it anywhere, and it immediately becomes the center of gravity. Other motorcycles fade into the background. Cars slow down, pedestrians stare, and riders start asking questions they already know the answers to. The stance of the M109R is low, stretched, and confrontational. It sits on the pavement like it owns the road beneath it, projecting an energy that feels more like a drag bike than a cruiser. This is not elegance. This is aggression expressed through metal, rubber, and displacement. Suzuki hasn't softened the lines or modernized the attitude to chase trends. Instead, the 2026 version feels like a declaration that muscle cruisers are not dead, no matter how many manufacturers abandon the concept in favor of safer, more comfortable alternatives. "2026 Indian Pursuit Limited PowerPlus 112 shocks Harley and Gold Wing. 126 horsepower touring monster unleashed." The motorcycle world didn't know it was missing something until the 2026 Indian Pursuit Limited PowerPlus 112 exploded onto the scene, rewriting what it means to dominate the open road. This is not a polite update, a timid refresh, or a cautious evolution. This is Indian Motorcycle dropping a thunderous declaration. We're rewriting touring supremacy. From the moment the Pursuit Limited PowerPlus 112 rolls into view, it's clear this machine isn't here to fit in. It's here to trump every stereotype about big baggers, long-distance touring, and performance cruisers all at once. Just look at it. The Pursuit Limited PowerPlus 112 stands tall with a stance that doesn't whisper confidence. It demands respect. Every curve of the bodywork, every inch of chrome and color, and every engineered detail shouts heritage fused with cutting-edge engineering. This isn't nostalgia dressed up as modernity. This is heritage weaponized with torque, technology, and ruthless intent. In a world where many motorcycles feel blandly interchangeable, the Pursuit Limited PowerPlus 112 slams distinction into the pavement. This is a bike that arrests attention, not politely, not casually, but with undeniable visual authority. Then you hear it. A deep, resonant growl pours out from its massive PowerPlus 112 engine, vibrating through the air like a low-frequency warning siren. This isn't background noise. It's a statement, a presence, a tone that says this machine isn't content with traffic. It owns it. Riders across the globe immediately sensed something different when Indian released this beast. The exhaust note resonates deep, rich, and wickedly satisfying. A sound that doesn't just fill your ears, it rattles your core. It's the kind of noise that makes pedestrians turn around, cars pull aside, and competitors wonder if they missed the memo entirely. 2026 BMW K 1600B exposed, the Inline-Six bagger that shames V-twins. The 2026 BMW K 1600B is not just another touring motorcycle rolling quietly into the new model year. This bike arrives with something to prove, and BMW Motorrad knows it. From the moment you look at it, there's an unmistakable sense that this machine was never meant to blend in or play it safe. It exists to challenge expectations, disrupt long-standing traditions, and remind the motorcycle world that luxury baggers don't have to be slow, outdated, or locked into decades-old design philosophies. The K 1600B doesn't ask for permission to redefine the segment. It simply does it, unapologetically, with confidence backed by engineering that few manufacturers on the planet can match. At the heart of this statement lies BMW's legendary 649cc Inline-Six engine, an engineering masterpiece that continues to stand alone in a market dominated by V-twins. This isn't just about numbers on a spec sheet. It's about how the power feels, how it builds, and how effortlessly it carries the bike forward. Twist the throttle, and the response is immediate, smooth, and endlessly refined, almost as if the bike is gliding rather than accelerating. There's no vibration creeping into the bars, no mechanical drama begging for attention, just a seamless surge of torque that feels more like a luxury performance car than a traditional motorcycle. It's this turbine-like delivery that leaves many V-twin baggers feeling crude by comparison, especially when the road opens up and the K 1600B simply keeps pulling, calmly and confidently, as if speed itself is effortless. What makes this engine so intoxicating is not just its power, but its character. BMW has refined the six-cylinder experience to deliver strong low-end torque for relaxed cruising, while still offering exhilarating performance when the rider demands it. Passing on the highway becomes almost laughably easy. Roll-on acceleration feels instant, and there's a deep sense of control that comes from knowing the engine is never strained, never working hard, no matter how far or how fast you travel. This is the kind of motor that transforms long-distance touring from a task into a pleasure, encouraging riders to go farther, simply because the bike makes it feel so natural. Honda just changed the future of touring. The new 2026 Honda Gold Wing DCT has officially dropped, and trust me, this isn't just an update, this is a full-blown touring revolution. The motorcycle world has been absolutely shaken, and if you haven't heard why yet, then buckle up, because Honda has just unleashed something that feels less like a touring bike update and more like a technological earthquake. The 2026 Honda Gold Wing DCT has arrived, and the early reactions from riders are nothing short of stunned disbelief. This isn't the typical new year, new color options update we've seen from manufacturers for decades. No, Honda has taken the Gold Wing, already considered one of the greatest touring machines ever built, and pushed it into territory no one really expected them to explore. The result is a machine so advanced, so refined, and so ruthlessly engineered that it's practically daring every other brand in the industry to try and keep up. What makes the new Gold Wing so shocking is that Honda didn't just upgrade a few comfort features and call it a day. They went deep into the engine feel, the real-world ride quality, the electronics architecture, the aerodynamics, and even the DCT's entire behavior profile. The dual-clutch transmission doesn't just shift smoothly, it shifts with an almost eerie level of precision, predicting rider intent with a responsiveness that feels borderline telepathic. The revamped aero system channels airflow in a way that reduces buffeting even at high interstate speeds, making long-distance cruising feel quieter and more stable than ever before. And then there's the new cockpit, a fully redesigned interface that merges luxury car polish with next-gen motorcycle intelligence. It doesn't just look good, it feels like the future of rider-machine communication. But maybe the biggest bombshell is the collection of upgrades Honda didn't hype at all. Hidden among the sleek bodywork and premium touches are performance enhancements that riders have been begging for. We're seeing a subtle but meaningful power bump, giving the massive six-cylinder engine a deeper well of torque and smoother delivery across the rev range. There's also a new adaptive riding system, yes, adaptive, that automatically fine-tunes suspension and handling characteristics based on terrain, speed, riding mode, and even the weight of the cargo and passengers. It's the kind of technology you expect in high-end luxury SUVs, not motorcycles. Yet somehow Honda has flawlessly blended it into a touring platform without sacrificing the soul of the Gold Wing experience. Comfort, of course, remains the crown jewel of the Gold Wing, and in 2026, Honda has taken that legacy to a level almost bordering on royalty. The upgraded seat design, enhanced ride ergonomics, improved wind management, and re-engineered heat control make the bike feel like a luxury throne on wheels. The rider and passenger experience has been elevated so dramatically that early test riders have joked that long-distance fatigue has officially been, quote, canceled. When Honda said they were improving comfort, nobody expected they'd essentially reinvent what it means to take a 500-mile ride. It's not just comfortable, it's absurdly comfortable. "2026 Harley-Davidson CVO Street Glide Island insane. This should be illegal." The 2026 Harley-Davidson CVO Street Glide doesn't arrive quietly. It storms into the scene like it owns the road, the legacy, and the future all at once. This isn't just another touring motorcycle update, and it's definitely not built for casual riders. This is Harley-Davidson at full volume, flexing everything it knows about power, prestige, and presence. The CVO badge alone carries weight, but in 2026, it feels heavier than ever, signaling that this machine is meant to sit at the very top of the bagger food chain. The moment it rolls into view, you already know this bike isn't asking for attention, it's demanding respect. Visually, the 2026 CVO Street Glide is pure intimidation wrapped in luxury. The Batwing fairing looks sharper, wider, and more aggressive, carving through the air like a blade while framing the rider as the center of gravity. Custom paint finishes explode with depth under sunlight, layered and detailed in a way only CVO bikes dare to be. Every chrome accent, every darkened component, every sculpted line feels intentional, expensive, and unapologetically bold. This is not subtle design. This is rolling status, built for riders who want to be seen and heard before the engine even fires. And when that engine comes to life, everything changes. The heart of the 2026 CVO Street Glide pounds with raw authority, delivering torque that hits hard and early, exactly the way a Harley should. Twist the throttle and you don't just accelerate. You surge forward with a force that feels mechanical, physical, and alive. This isn't about chasing top speed numbers or lap times. It's about that gut-pulling shove that pins you back into the seat and reminds you why V-twin power still owns a special place in motorcycle culture. Every mile feels earned, every roll-on feels addictive. On the road, the CVO Street Glide feels planted, confident, and shockingly composed for a machine with this much attitude. Long highways melt away as the bike settles into its natural habitat, devouring miles with ease while maintaining that unmistakable Harley presence. In corners, it surprises riders who expect bulk, but instead find balance, stability, and precision that encourages pushing just a little harder each time. This bike doesn't want to be babied. It wants to be ridden, stretched, and trusted. Comfort is where the CVO name really justifies itself. The seat cradles you for long hauls, the ergonomics feel dialed in for all-day riding, and the wind protection keeps fatigue at bay without isolating you from the ride. You're not floating above the road. You're connected to it, but without punishment. Harley has mastered the art of making long-distance riding feel powerful instead of exhausting. And the 2026 CVO Street Glide proves that comfort doesn't have to come at the cost of character. The king of luxury touring just went full dark mode. The 2026 BMW K 1600 GTL Triple Black isn't just a motorcycle, it's a statement of dominance wrapped in gloss black armor. From the moment you see the deep, shadowed paint reflecting city lights at night, you know this machine was not built to blend in. It was built to command. The Triple Black Edition transforms the already iconic K 1600 GTL into something more sinister, more elegant, more intimidating. And when you thumb the starter and awaken that legendary Inline-Six engine, the experience becomes almost cinematic. This isn't a typical touring bike. It's a rolling grand tourer, engineered with German precision, layered with luxury, and sharpened with performance that embarrasses expectations. In this video, we go deep into what makes the 2026 version of this blacked-out flagship one of the most complete long-distance motorcycles ever created. At the heart of the BMW K 1600 GTL Triple Black lies one of the most unique engines in motorcycling, a 1,649cc inline six-cylinder masterpiece. Smooth doesn't even begin to describe it. This engine doesn't vibrate, it glides. Power delivery is seamless, refined, and endlessly strong, whether you're cruising at highway speeds or rolling on the throttle to overtake traffic effortlessly. The sound is intoxicating. A deep, turbine-like growl that rises into a silky mechanical symphony as the revs climb. Unlike V-twins that thump or twins that buzz, the K 1600's Inline-Six feels like it belongs in a luxury sports car, yet somehow perfectly adapted to two wheels. In 2026, BMW has a refined throttle response, optimized ride-by-wire mapping, and improved low-speed manners, making the GTL even more approachable in city traffic while retaining its highway supremacy. It is a rare combination of raw power and refined behavior, controlled aggression under a tailored suit. The Triple Black treatment adds more than just paint. The blacked-out components, dark finishes, and subtle detailing elevate the GTL from premium tourer to executive weapon. Every angle looks intentional. The large fairing flows seamlessly into the bodywork, the integrated LED lighting slices through the night, and the overall silhouette remains elegant yet muscular. This is a bike that turns heads at red lights, hotel entrances, and scenic overlooks alike. Park it next to other touring motorcycles, and it immediately looks more expensive, more advanced, more composed. The 2026 model carries forward BMW's unmistakable design language while refining small aesthetic touches that make the triple black edition feel exclusive. It doesn't scream for attention, it quietly demands it. Touring is about comfort, and this is where the K1600 GTL Triple Black truly dominates. The ergonomics are designed for long-distance mastery: upright seating position, wide handlebars, adjustable windscreen, heated grips, heated seats, and generous passenger accommodations. The GTL isn't just comfortable for the rider, it's a throne for the passenger. The rear top case with integrated backrest ensures two-up riding feels luxurious, not cramped. On the 2026 model, seat cushioning and suspension calibration feel even more refined, absorbing road imperfections with almost unfair smoothness. BMW's electronically adjustable suspension system adapts to riding modes and load conditions, allowing you to tailor the ride from plush touring comfort to firmer sport-oriented precision at the press of a button. Long days in the saddle don't feel exhausting, they feel effortless. 2026 new Indian Chief Vintage shocks the cruiser world. Retro power just got wild. The legend is back, and it's louder, bolder, and more unapologetically classic than ever before. The 2026 new Indian Chief Vintage has officially arrived, and it's rewriting everything you thought you knew about retro cruisers. When you hear the name Indian motorcycle, you think heritage. You think war-bonnet fenders, white wall tires, deep chrome, and that unmistakable V-twin rumble. But what happens when timeless design collides with modern engineering? You get a machine that doesn't just honor the past, it dominates the present. And in 2026, the Chief Vintage is no longer just a nostalgic icon. It's a statement, a rebellion, a chrome-plated declaration that real cruisers never die, they evolve. From the moment you lay eyes on the 2026 Chief Vintage, you know this isn't some half-hearted refresh. This is a full-scale revival of classic American muscle. The valance fenders sweep dramatically over the wheels like something straight out of the 1940s. The genuine leather saddlebags aren't just decorative, they scream authenticity. The white wall tires? Pure vintage swagger. And that massive front nacelle crowned with the illuminated Indian head logo feels like it belongs in a museum, if museums allowed thunder to shake their walls. But here's the twist. Beneath that heritage skin lies cutting-edge performance tech that turns this beauty into a modern-day powerhouse. At the heart of this beast beats the legendary Thunderstroke engine, bigger, smoother, and more refined than ever. Riders who crave torque will feel it instantly. Twist the throttle, and the Chief Vintage doesn't just move, it surges. The low-end grunt is addictive, delivering that deep, chest-thumping rumble that cruiser fans live for. It's not about high-rev screaming, it's about effortless power. Highway cruising feels almost surreal, as if the bike glides on a river of torque. Whether you're rolling through downtown streets or stretching its legs across open highways, this machine commands respect at every red light and every mile marker. But here's where things get shocking. The 2026 model blends nostalgia with advanced rider tech in a way that feels almost illegal. Expect ride modes that subtly adapt throttle response, traction control that keeps you planted even in unpredictable conditions, and a modern infotainment display discreetly integrated without destroying the vintage vibe. It's the perfect balance. You get the soul of the 1940s with the brain of 2026. Purists might gasp, but once they ride it, they'll understand. This isn't betrayal. It's evolution done right. Comfort? Oh, it's on another level. The plush, deeply cushioned solo saddle feels handcrafted for cross-country adventures. Floorboards allow you to stretch out and relax, while the swept-back handlebars create that classic, upright cruiser posture. Long-distance touring suddenly feels tempting, even inevitable. The windshield cuts through wind blast with smooth confidence, making highway speeds feel effortless. You don't ride the cheap vintage in a hurry. You ride it to savor every mile, every vibration, every passing horizon. The 2026 Honda Gold Wing Tour destroys the competition. This is the ultimate luxury touring motorcycle. The 2026 Honda Gold Wing Tour is not just another motorcycle release. It's a statement, a declaration that long-distance touring has officially entered a new era. For decades, the Gold Wing has been the undisputed benchmark for luxury touring motorcycles, and in 2026, Honda doesn't merely refine the legend, they elevate it to a level that few thought possible. From the very first glance, the Gold Wing Tour commands respect. This is not a bike built to impress for a few minutes at a dealership. It's engineered to dominate thousands of kilometers with absolute confidence. Every panel, every curve, and every piece of technology serves a single purpose: to make the rider feel like the road belongs to them. The 2026 model doesn't chase trends, it sets them. While other manufacturers experiment and gamble, Honda arrives with quiet authority, reminding the world why the Goldwing name carries such weight in the touring segment. At the heart of the 2026 Honda Gold Wing Tour lies the iconic Flat 6 engine, a mechanical masterpiece that has become synonymous with smoothness, reliability, and effortless power. Honda has refined this engine not to chase raw horsepower numbers, but to perfect real-world performance where it truly matters. Throttle response is silk smooth, torque delivery feels endless, and acceleration remains deceptively strong despite the bike's luxurious size. Whether you're cruising at highway speeds or overtaking effortlessly with a passenger and full luggage, the Gold Wing Tour feels composed and unstrained. The engine hums rather than roars, creating a sense of calm authority that turns long rides into meditative experiences. This is not about adrenaline-fueled aggression. It's about confidence, refinement, and absolute control over distance and time. The 2026 Gold Wing Tour's dual-clutch transmission, DCT, continues to redefine what touring comfort truly means. Honda's DCT technology has matured into one of the most seamless and intuitive systems ever fitted to a motorcycle. Gear changes are instant, intelligent, and perfectly timed, whether you're navigating city traffic or gliding along endless highways. Riders who prefer manual control can still enjoy paddle-style shifting, but many will find themselves trusting the system completely. The brilliance of the DCT lies in how invisible it becomes. You stop thinking about gears and start focusing purely on the journey. For long-distance touring, this is nothing short of revolutionary, reducing fatigue and allowing the rider to arrive fresher, sharper, and more relaxed than ever before. Comfort has always been the Gold Wing's strongest weapon, and the 2026 Tour model raises the bar yet again. The redesigned seating offers exceptional support for both rider and passenger, carefully shaped to distribute weight evenly over long hours in the saddle. Heated seats, heated grips, and refined ergonomics transform cold mornings and late-night rides into pleasurable experiences. Wind protection is outstanding, with an electrically adjustable windscreen that adapts instantly to changing conditions. At highway speeds, turbulence is minimized to the point where conversation with your passenger feels effortless. Honda didn't just design a motorcycle here, they engineered a first-class traveling environment on two wheels.